I was just reading out of Luke 15, chapter 7, and it's a verse where Jesus is talking about the celebration in heaven with the sinners that come home, and how all of the angels and all of heaven rejoice when a lost sheep is returned back to the fold, more so than all the righteous people that never left. And I had the following thought. And the following thought, or the thought that I had, was that we teach and have been taught to be one of the righteous that never strays away. Find God, find the truth, and walk your whole life out in it. And don't stray, don't run. Stay in it. And yeah, awesome. Yeah, that's good. However, that's not the highest good. The highest good that Jesus is talking about is the celebration that occurs when a lost sheep comes home. That's, he says, more celebration than over all the righteous that never ran away. Okay, hold on, pause, stop the bus right there. Is that saying that he wants us to be lost sheep and come home? Because there's more celebration in that than if I stay in righteousness and walk that path out my whole life and never leave it. Well, careful here, Michael. You're straying into some muddy waters. Okay, well, let me see if I can make it a little bit more clear for this. My experience is this. In my conversations with Christ, when I've said, okay, I surrender completely every thought, every moment, all of my past, all of my future, and right here, right now, you are welcome into every area of my life. Every thought of my mind, every part of my body, my spirit, my soul, my memories, my story, my dreams. Give it all. You're in. And he says, awesome, I'm in. And then he tells me, you know I'm a timeless God, right? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, so, like, you know that if I'm here with you right now, that means I'm here with you eternally right now, which means I always have been with you and always will be with you, right? And it's like, yeah. And he's like, okay, so you know I've redeemed every part of your story. Like, you look back in the past, every moment in the past, I was with you. It's like, okay. He's like, I was with you, but you weren't always with me. Like, you didn't always know I was there, but I've redeemed it all. And so let me pull that back to answering the question. So what does this have to do with, like, being a lost sheep coming home in the celebration? And what I'm understanding is that as a lost sheep, as I ran out into the world and had experiences, he was with me, and he was in every one of those relationships and friendships that I had, and every one of those experiences. And because I have at one point invited him into my heart, that means he was fully in my spirit and my soul, and he was moving through me and speaking through me in this interaction and that interaction, in that place. He's redeemed it all, and his hand got to go with me everywhere I went, and he got to reach people that would never have made it into a church because they just weren't going there. But they were in church when they were with me, even if I wasn't walking with Christ, because he was there and he redeemed it. And okay, well, what about your sins, Michael? There were times where you were doing shit that just wasn't cool. Yeah. I don't know. Take it out with my father. He said, you know, he looks back and removed my sin from me as far as the east is from the west. He says, moving from glory to glory. He says, I'm a timeless God, and I'm with you eternally, including your past. So the details, you can let him explain that to you. Take it up with the Father. I mean, that's above my pay grade. So I'm going to stay down here and just, like, break it down this way. But what I'm going to say is, the advice I would give my children is run free. Be who you are. Don't feel you have to live a certain way of righteousness. Just be true. And make sure you find your way into Christ. Because if you come to that moment and say, all in, you have all of me, then he says, I do eternally, and he'll redeem every part of your story. The thing I'll add to that is, if we choose to run away, the thing we're giving up is that intimacy and that ability to just right now, right here, fully enjoy a moment. And when we run away, we get taken out of the moment because of our fear of the past, or our fear of the future, or guilt, or shame, or this or that, or everything else that isn't heaven. As I'm walking with Christ right now, I'm recognizing that heaven walks with me, and everywhere I look is God's creation, and everything I see reflects his nature and his love towards me. And anything that is hostile to that is hostile to that. It is what it is. And he says, but I'm with you, and I love through you, and I love you, and I love them too. So just be cool. Leave that with me. You don't have to do anything about it. We're going to walk the rest of your path out together forever and ever and ever and ever. So, yeah, that's my thought for today. Thanks for joining me for 6 minutes and 50 seconds.